Did you know there are forbidden techniques that can spark such a deep, obsessive desire in a woman that she simply can't think about anything else? It might seem out of reach, but the truth is, many men fail because they don't understand the nuances of this dynamic. The idea of manipulation and control is controversial, but the reality is, the female mind can be triggered by specific psychological factors. And yes, it's possible to use the knowledge of these triggers to your advantage, creating an irresistible attraction. But what happens when you cross the line between genuine attraction and manipulation? Let's explore together how to activate these female triggers strategically, not just to generate desire but to create an obsession that will be impossible to ignore. The answer lies in a delicate balance between technique and ethics, and it's that balance you need to master to achieve lasting and satisfying results. This isn't about cheap tricks, but about deeply understanding human behavior, awakening the true female desire you're seeking. Let's understand the forbidden techniques that can generate this obsessive desire, and how to use them wisely. Have you ever noticed how, sometimes, the right words can trigger intense emotions? It's as if, by tapping into the essence of the female mind, you activate a mechanism that, no matter how mysterious it may seem, triggers an automatic response. But be careful, because this is a game of nuances, and while the forbidden techniques are powerful, they need to be used with intelligence. They're about more than just words or gestures. The energy you convey, how the other person perceives your intentions, all of this plays a role in the process. Some of these techniques, like mental games and creating tension, can seem manipulative if used without a true understanding. However, when you grasp the female desire in a deep and respectful way, you can activate these triggers in a manner that generates admiration, attraction, and even obsession. Here's the secret: it's not about the act itself, but about maintaining mystery and curiosity. And this is where many people fail. They try to reveal too much, instead of cultivating the interest and excitement that are natural in these interactions. Female desire, just like female obsession, can be sparked by touching on sensitive points of the psyche. But the trick is to do it subtly, without being obvious. This is where the forbidden techniques come into play. It's not about what you say directly, but about how you communicate, the emotions you trigger, and how you make the other person feel unique and desired. Picture this. You're in a conversation where you don't say anything explicit, but you create such an intense atmosphere that the person is left wondering what you meant. This is activating a female trigger powerfully. And how can these techniques be applied practically? Let's talk about mystery. When interacting, don't give everything away at once. Be deliberate in how you share your intentions, leaving space for the other person to imagine what you're thinking. This activates a subconscious need to figure you out, increasing desire and attraction naturally. Contrary to what many people think, the secret isn't about being the best or most available, but about being the most intriguing and captivating. But be cautious, because it's crucial not to cross the line. Female desire, when misunderstood or manipulated, can turn into female obsession. Instead of creating something healthy and exciting, it can become excessive and harmful. This is a delicate field, where every word and gesture matters. The line between what's exciting and what's disturbing is very thin. That's why understanding the forbidden techniques is an art. And like all art, it requires practice, sensitivity, and, above all, respect for the other person's space and desires. When we talk about female desire, we're dealing with a multifaceted concept. Contrary to many simplistic ideas, female desire isn't just about physical attractiveness or the right words spoken at the right moment. It goes much deeper, connected to emotional intimacy, respect, and the ability to understand and activate the right female triggers, which are often subtler than most people realize. After all, female desire is a reflection of something deeper, something that goes beyond the surface. The secret to awakening female desire lies in understanding that it's not something you can force. Contrary to what many believe, there isn't a magic button that, when pressed, makes a woman immediately attracted to you. Instead, it's about creating a dynamic that fosters trust and curiosity. Think about how, often, a simple look or an exchange of intense words can provoke an unexpected reaction. This happens because female desire is triggered by emotional triggers that, when properly explored, have the power to create an irresistible attraction. Here's a practical example. Consider something many people overlook: active listening. It's not just about saying the right words, but about listening and responding in a way that shows you are truly interested. This kind of attention is one of the most powerful ways to activate female desire, because when a woman feels heard, she starts to open up emotionally. She's not just reacting to what you say, but connecting with the energy you convey. with what you don't say but imply. Moreover, building a narrative of mutual trust and respect is essential to triggering female desire. Contrary to what many think, desire doesn't just arise from physical tension, but also from the emotional security that is built. This is especially important when we talk about female obsession, where a woman can be intensely attracted not only by physical presence but by the emotional connection built over time. This type of desire cannot be rushed or forced. It must be cultivated gradually and naturally. And once you understand these mechanisms, the next step is to direct all of this into something that, instead of being fleeting, becomes something more enduring. Female desire isn't something that springs from a single interaction or a perfectly timed phrase. It's a continuous process of building and deepening the connection. This creates a healthy obsession, where both sides feel valued, and attraction becomes almost a natural reaction. All of this directly connects to female triggers, which, once activated correctly, can generate the intensity many people seek. Female obsession isn't something that can be forced in a trivial way. Contrary to what many think, it doesn't come from a simple superficial attraction but from a deep connection that goes beyond appearances. To create genuine obsession, you need to understand that female desire is activated by a unique combination of emotional and psychological factors. By tapping into these points, you can not only attract a woman but make her feel deeply drawn to who you are at your core. Many people try to speed up this process, believing that grand gestures or flowery words are enough to trigger such a response. However, female obsession is more about consistency and authenticity. Instead of trying to be someone you're not, the key is being genuine while creating an air of mystery. When you can be truthful but also leave something to the imagination, activating these psychological triggers, that's when desire becomes irresistible. This is the key to creating female obsession in a way that's not just healthy, but also exciting. A practical example would be how, often, small gestures and actions speak louder than words. Acts of kindness, genuine interest shown in a nonchalant way, have the power to awaken a type of attraction that goes far beyond the physical. It's that kind of gesture that leaves a woman wanting more, because, contrary to what one might expect, you're not offering yourself in an overt way, but rather making yourself intriguingly available. This creates the type of attraction that can transform into female obsession, a healthy obsession, which is the foundation of a strong, lasting relationship. Another crucial aspect to creating female obsession is, without a doubt, emotional reciprocity. By understanding that female desire isn't just a one-way exchange but a two-way street, you position yourself more effectively to generate this type of connection. A woman who feels that the other person is equally emotionally invested, that they're willing to open up and create a trusting environment, feels a deeper attraction, almost a need. This not only creates desire but also obsession, a type of obsession that, at its core, is based on reciprocity. However, it's important to remember that female obsession should never be confused with emotional dependency or control. When we talk about healthy obsession, we're referring to an attraction so strong that it becomes a shared experience, not something imposed. A woman feels drawn to the way you make her feel, not because of your constant presence, but because of the quality of your presence. So, by nurturing these feelings of desire without being excessive or controlling, you create the perfect balance between attraction and respect. And of course, when desire is cultivated in the right and respectful way, female obsession becomes not just wanted, but desirable. It becomes a natural part of the relationship dynamic, where both sides are equally immersed in this game of attraction, without rushing, without anxiety, but with a growing sense of mutual desire and need. Activating female triggers isn't about manipulation, but about understanding the psychology behind desire and attraction. The female mind is complex, and the triggers that activate it vary from person to person. However, there are universal patterns that, when properly applied, can create an intense emotional response. The secret isn't in forcing these triggers, but knowing when and how to touch them, awakening emotions, and creating an attraction that goes far beyond the surface. One powerful trigger is emotional validation. Throughout life, we all seek to some degree recognition and validation. For women, this process is even more significant, as validation can trigger a range of emotions from desire to emotional dependency. When you offer this type of validation in a genuine, focused way, without being excessive, you activate a trigger that can make a woman feel special and unique, creating a strong and often irresistible bond. Another trigger that can be activated is the sense of emotional security. Women, no matter how independent they are, seek emotional stability in a relationship. When you show that you're someone she can trust, who can provide emotional support, You create an environment where desire and attraction can blossom. This type of security is a powerful psychological trigger because, deep down, women seek not just physical attraction but an emotional connection that allows them to feel safe enough to open up. How you manage time can also be an important trigger. When you learn to pace your interactions and create a sense of anticipation, you activate a trigger that generates desire and positive anxiety. Imagine, for instance, that when interacting with her, you're present, but also absent at strategic moments. This creates a cycle of attraction and waiting that, instead of pushing her away, draws her closer, making her aware of your absence and, consequently, how desirable you can be. The key here is always maintaining a healthy balance between presence and distance. Moreover, using body language that conveys confidence and interest is also a crucial female trigger. It's not just about words, but how you behave, how you position yourself, and even how you touch the person. Small gestures, like a deep gaze or a subtle touch on the arm, can trigger an intense emotional reaction. These physical connection gestures don't need to be excessive, but when done subtly and strategically, they have the power to make a woman feel desired, creating immediate and lasting attraction. Therefore, activating female triggers isn't about manipulation, but understanding a woman's feelings and emotional needs. When you use these triggers honestly and strategically, creating an environment of trust, attraction, and anticipation, you're not only awakening desire, but also building a solid foundation for a long-term relationship, where attraction evolves into something deep and lasting. The so-called forbidden techniques are strategies that, while they may produce quick and intense results, walk the fine line between legitimate attraction and emotional manipulation. Often, when someone feels powerless to win a woman's desire, they resort to tricks and tactics that initially seem effective. However, using these techniques can damage not only the other person but also one's own self-esteem. The true power of attraction lies not in manipulation, but in creating an authentic connection. It's important to understand that forbidden techniques often involve psychological games based on misinformation, uncertainty, and even control. These may include tactics like intentionally creating jealousy, giving mixed signals to cause confusion, or even strategically using personal information to increase desire. While these methods may temporarily make a woman feel more intense desire, they are not sustainable and, sooner or later, lead to emotional burnout. True attraction comes when you act sincerely, without resorting to these manipulations. A clear example of a forbidden technique is when someone pretends not to be interested to trigger the other person's obsession. Creating a detachment game may work, but it's an unstable method that, when recognized, destroys trust. The woman, who initially feels challenged, will soon see through the game, leading to mistrust and frustration. Furthermore, constantly using these techniques can affect your own sense of self-worth and self-esteem because, by manipulating feelings, you begin to lose yourself in a game of falsehoods. On the other hand, legitimate attraction techniques, such as building trust, mutual respect, and using positive body language, not only activate female triggers authentically, but also ensure a lasting bond. These techniques, unlike the forbidden ones, are sustainable and based on empathy and reciprocity. Therefore, when seeking ways to intensify female desire, it's essential to choose approaches that foster a genuine connection, not just manipulate the woman's emotions. If you cling to forbidden techniques, you may create a temporary obsession, but it will be a vicious cycle that leads to nothing lasting. Genuine female desire is something that grows over time, with respect and open communication. Building a solid foundation of respect and trust is the real key to awakening and maintaining desire. And in the end, the best way to attract someone is not through manipulation, but by being the best version of yourself, capable of awakening not just desire, but a true emotional connection. Have you ever thought about having any woman you want just by sending text messages? There's a secret all women keep to themselves. This secret is a mental trigger that activates in their minds when you send certain specific messages. I teach all of this in an ebook, which I'm offering as a gift in the first pinned comment on this video. It's not free because I put in the effort to create it, but it's almost free, as the price is ridiculously low, cheaper than a snack. Go ahead and grab your gift. Now that you know about the forbidden techniques and how they can trigger obsessive desire, I ask, what are you waiting for to apply this knowledge in your life? It's not just about learning, but about transforming what you've learned into action. Every step you've taken on this path could be the key to changing the way you connect and interact with women. So, the question is, will you continue to rely on conventional approaches, or will you use these techniques strategically to create real, lasting desire? Are you ready to try and see the results happen? If you want more, Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Let's explore more about what awakens true attraction, without cheap tricks or manipulation, but with a deep understanding of how female triggers work. Transformation starts now. Don't miss this opportunity to master the art of genuine attraction and conquer what you've always wanted. Have you considered that many men don't know how to use dating apps? Many are missing the chance to get the woman they want because they don't know simple shortcuts about how to dominate the dating app game. But that's a topic for another video. The good news is that I've already recorded it, and it's right here on your screen.